Now, everyone, it's time to spread a bit of movie cheer.
Welcome to the Movie Cheer Podcast, the show for movie fans. I am your host, AP, aka Mr. Movie Cheer, and on today's edition of the Movie Cheer Pod, I will be discussing the best movies coming in 2023. I'll be giving you my thoughts on which movies I personally think are going to be the best ones coming out this year in 2023. Did the same thing last year. I thought, let's keep this a run, a tradition every year now. Do the best movies coming in 2023. Not every year, obviously. For this year only. Next year it'll be 2024. But yeah, that's going to be today's headline topic, ladies and gents. I'm going to be looking at 4 different movies for today's headline topic that are coming out this year. It's going to be great. I'm going to give a breakdown of them all and why I think they're going to be really tremendous movies to watch for us all as movie fans. But before we get to today's headline topic, as always, I like to start the show off with a segment called Not So Worthy Blockbuster Housekeeping. This is the part of the show where I discuss what is going on with the channel, what's going on with the Movie Cheer Town community, and it's just a general easing in chit-chat to get us ready for the rest of the show. So, Not So Worthy Blockbuster Housekeeping for this week. What is going on in Movie Cheer Town? First of all, I want to say Happy New Year to you all. Happy New Year 2023. I hope you all had a great December period. I took a bit of break, obviously, as you know, over Christmas. I wasn't feeling great. I had a bit of illness over Christmas, but then I was taking a break anyway. But I'm all great now. I've just dropped the pen on the floor, if you heard that. But yeah, I'm all great now. Everything's fine. I'm feeling 100% better. I just want to say big thank you, and really super the kindness that I put out a post and some of the messages back. It was really kind, and I really do appreciate all the really kind messages when I weren't feeling great. So thank you very much to everyone in the Movie Cheer Town community. You're all really kind people. I really do appreciate it. A message like that really does go a long way, and I do really appreciate it. So thank you very much, guys. I really do. The thoughts do count, and I appreciate every single message that is sent. Thank you very much. So I hope you're all going to have a great new year. I hope you've got some great plans for your movie room, some movie watches for 2023, some things you're going to watch. It's exciting. It's exciting, a new year, a new fresh slate of movies. I love that. I love the idea, we've got a whole bunch of new movies coming out. It's just like this fresh new experiences just waiting to be viewed. I can't wait. It's going to be fun, and it's not even new movies as well. It's like movies from the past for me as well that I'm still discovering tons of great movies, classic movies that I've never discovered before. And that's what I think. Like 2023, I'm going to watch more classic movies and just keep track of what I'm watching and try and intake more movies I've never watched before as well. I think that's a really good idea and good way to look at things when you're watching movies. Get them new experiences in. But yeah, let's talk about what else is going on in Movie Cheer Town. Anyway, latest video came out last Saturday, and it was a channel update video. I don't know whether I've done a channel update video before on the channel, but it was just generally chatting about the plans for the channel, plans for 2023. Short sort of like story of it all. I am going to cut back on the content a bit this year, and it's going to be, if you watch that video for the full sort of like idea of what the plan is for the channel and for the podcast in 2023. But videos now, podcast, we're talking about the podcast here today. The podcast will not really be affected as such, but it will be the last Saturday of every month will be a general normal video on the Saturday. The Thursday videos are no more for the time being anyway. So it'll be normal podcast apart from the last Saturday of the month, which will just be a normal video instead of the podcast. Just changing things up, having a bit of a shake-up, getting a bit more time to myself to work on some other projects, like maybe doing a short film. So it's fun, it's exciting. I think, like I said it in the video, I think it's always good to have a bit of a shake-up sometimes to just, when you feel like you need to do other things and pursue other things, creative endeavours or whatever it may be in life. I think it's always good to trust your gut, go all in with something that you truly are, you believe in doing, you feel like is the right thing to do, and follow your compass as well. Just always follow your natural compass of where you want to go in life, and that's why I've decided to cut back on some of the videos this year, but still, to be honest, focusing on more of long form videos, doing the podcast videos, because I love doing these deep dives. I like these videos where you're not cutting things down, you're not doing like cuts here and there. It's just, let's get into it. Let's deep dive into a discussion. And this is what I love doing, talking about movies, bottom line. But anyway, so the other final bit of not so worthy blockbuster housekeeping for this week, the blog, moviecheerpodcast.com. It's been a bit inactive for the past few weeks, I will say, but it will be returning very soon. I'm going to start putting in a few more, getting a few more blogs out there, and that's going to be the plan for 2023, because another plan, because I really do enjoy doing the blog. I enjoyed it last year. For me, it was just about starting the blog, becoming a better writer of talking about movies and putting things on paper, because I feel like, I do the videos and the podcast, but writing is something I'm really bad at. So don't get me wrong, I'm still pretty bad at it, but it's an improvement every time. And I always think it's just every time I do another blog, I'm improving on my writing and sort of like articulating myself on a piece of paper, even though I'm not writing on a piece of paper, it's on a laptop. But there we go. But anyway, the blog will be returning. Movie Cheer Town is back in business. The doors are open. The village, Movie Cheer Town, is saying, come on, come all, come into Movie Cheer Town. Yes, you can come in, take a step in Movie Cheer Town and take a trip around the town. It's a beautiful place. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the rest of the podcast. I'm rambling. I know I am. It's the first podcast of the year. I'm excited. But anyway, let's get into that's not so worthy blockbuster housekeeping for this week. Let's move on now to today's headline topic.
The Movie Cheer Podcast presents the headline topic for the episode.
Remember to spread a bit of
headline topic. Headline topic.
Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer.
So today's headline topic, the best movies coming out in 2023. These are all my personal opinions of movies that I think are going to be the best ones coming out this year in 2023. And I've got 4 choices for you all today. So let's get into it. Let's get to the first choice, the number one choice. Well, these are not my number one choice. It's just 4. They're not rated like this is my first. This is 1 to 4, no particular order. Let's get into it anyway. First one I want to discuss is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the third movie now in the Ant-Man and the Wasp trilogy of movies starring Paul Rudd. And this one is, I can't wait for this one. So Quantumania, this comes out on the 17th of February. And the premise of the story is, this one is like Ant-Man and the Wasp and his daughter and what's his name? Thingy Russell. And, basically all the Ant-Man gang, let's just say all the Ant-Man gang, they get sort of like warped in to the quantum realm. And the quantum realm is like this miniature universe. And I believe in the comic books, it was known as the microverse, but they've changed it for the movies, like just the name of it. So the quantum realm is like this micro universe within our universe. When they shrink down, they go into this new like vast universe that we've never discovered before because it's so small. But this is where Kang the Conqueror comes in. He's like the leader of this sort of like this big uprising, this big dynasty building in the microverse. Kang the Conqueror is being played by Jonathan Majors. He did have a small role in the Loki show. He's kind of like being built up as this big villain now for the Avengers, and there's going to be like the 2 new Avengers movies, and like they are going to be a big focus with Kang, and you have Secret Wars and stuff like that going on. But this feels like this is going to be like the big lead into a lot of that going on, and the future of the MCU as a whole with this whole multiverse sort of side of things. The story here, or the premise of the story, looks like Scott Lang is going in there and with all the Ant-Man gang, and he wants more time with his daughter because of the snap. He didn't get to see his daughter grow up, and he basically remembers her as a little girl. And then the snap happened. He come back, and she's like a grown woman. So he wants to get that time back, and like Kang. From the trailers we have seen, it's like he's offering Scott Lang, Ant-Man, more time with his daughter, maybe to like reverse time potentially. So that seems like the premise of the story, and then it all goes like a bit haywire, and then we see Kang versus Ant-Man in this story. And we've had a few trailers that have dropped so far for this, and then I will say the one dropped this week, and I gotta say the trailer looked epic. It really did look great, but I did feel like it revealed it was like it felt like it was a bit too long, the trailer. Even though I loved seeing it, it felt like they showed us a bit too much of this movie, and it was like by the end of it, I was like, I wish they hadn't shown that much of this movie, and it was a bit too much to see, I felt. And I thought the first one they put out, the Elton John, when it had the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, that song on, I think that was a much better trailer. I think it was a bit shorter, but it kind of just left a bit there for the imagination to think, what's going on here? What are we going to see? And it didn't tease too much. It teased just enough for us to get excited as movie fans. And that's what I thought was great. But even though I'm still excited for this movie, I don't feel like we've seen everything. I don't think they've shown us all of it, but I feel like it's just going to be a fantastic film to see at the cinema. I'm really looking forward to seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp in Quantumania. 17th of February. It's going to be a cracking film. Really good sci-fi movie. For me, it looks like it's got a big influence of like Star Wars in here as well. Where you go into this quantum realm, the characters in there, a bit of like Guardians of the Galaxy in there too. I'm excited for this one indeed. So the second movie I'm going to discuss today that is coming out in 2023 that I'm really excited for is Transformers Rise of the Beast. This is now, believe it or not, this is the 7th movie in the Transformers franchise. This is coming out on June the 9th this year. And this movie is very much like it's taken the Beast Wars era of the Transformers and it's putting that on the big screen finally. I will say this is kind of like my era of Transformers. The Beast Wars was like late 90s, or mid to late 90s, I'd probably say. And Beast Wars was my jam. The cartoon, the toys. That was what I really liked. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't like the biggest fan of it. I wasn't like a huge fan, but I remember watching it. And I think the toys were more significant to me as well. The toys were super cool. But yeah, I was. I'm really looking forward to this. I thought the trailer that was released last year was really cool. It looked great. I was trying to think as well how many of these movies I've watched and how many I've really enjoyed. And I gotta be honest, the very first Transformers movie was really decent. I thought it was a decent movie. And I remember watching the second one and I thought it was cheesy, just super cheesy. I couldn't get into it. It was garbage, really. It was like Iron Man 3. It was that bad. But I remember the only other one I think I've watched then is the Bumblebee movie as well with John Cena and is it Haley something? The girl who was in the Hawkeye TV show. Is it Haley Stanfield or something like that? That was okay. It wasn't amazing. But yeah, I don't think I've seen. So maybe I've seen like 2 or 3 of the Transformers movies in total. I might have seen a bit of the Mark Wahlberg one, like when it was on TV. I think I've seen a bit of that one actually. Yeah, but overall, I've not watched the whole 7 movies. So I don't know whether you need to watch them all or whether this is kind of like a reboot or like its own individual story. I hope it is because I want to watch this at the cinema. I think it'll be a really cracking movie to see. I'm looking forward to it. So Beast Wars, basically, it's instead of like the cars turn into robots, this time it's like the robots turn into like there's a gorilla that turns into like a robot. So it's like a robot gorilla, or you'll have like a robot shark in it, or a robot dinosaur. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a really exciting movie to see. I'm really pumped to just see what they do with it on the big screen, and I hope it does deliver for me as a as a fan of that, and the nostalgia for that. I hope it all delivers on screen and kind of like visually. I can see. You have them nostalgia goggles on. You think of things in the past, and then they do a reboot, and you're like, sometimes it's all right, and then sometimes they're a bit. I enjoyed, like, for instance, I think the Ninja Turtles movies were really good. The reboots they've done a few years back, the remakes, whatever you want to call, with like the CGI Turtles. I think they are really good films, and it for me it brought back a lot of nostalgia because I liked Turtles as a kid, and even I don't think it was the best movie ever. I think in looking back at the movie, it wasn't. It could have been better, but the Power Rangers movie wasn't awful. I think for me, the only thing watching that I thought it was just a bit slow, the build up to them becoming the Power Rangers, like actual with the suits on and stuff like that. But that was okay. I think the Turtles one, for nostalgia though, for as a kid, for stuff I watched as a kid, and then having that sort of reboot on the big screen, that was amazing. That was a big hit of nostalgia. I loved it, and I'm hoping Beast Wars has that same feel. So Rise of the Beast. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this on the big screen. But anyway, let's move on to movie number 3 I'm going to discuss today. And movie number 3 is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. That is right, The Dial of Destiny, starring Harrison Ford returning to the role as Indy. We have Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who is playing, I think, the goddaughter of Indiana Jones, and you have Mads Mikkelsen is in there as well, and you have Antonio Banderas. Quite a really good cast. I mean, these movies never disappoint for cast members. They've always got a decent cast. This time, instead of Steven Spielberg directing it, we have James Mangold. If you're not aware of who James Mangold is, maybe you've been living under a rock, but he is an awesome director. One of my favourite movies, Logan, he directed that. He directed The Wolverine. He did Copland. What other movies did he? Off the top of my head, I can't think. He's a great director, though. Really, really good director. And The Dial of Destiny. So this movie is coming out June 30th this year, and it's going to be set in the year 1969, this one. Now, from what we saw of the trailer, we've seen one trailer so far, and there was like scenes where they've de-aged Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones, so we see like a young Indy in it. And The Dial of Destiny, it sounds like it's kind of like it looks and feels to me, and I think from what I've read on like Reddit and stuff like that on YouTube, it's going to be like a time travel movie, this one. So it feels like every movie franchise, that's like the last point, isn't it? They always go like, we'll do this story, what else have we got? Well, let's do time travel. Let's go for it, time travel. But you know what? If they can do a really good time travel story with Indiana Jones, and I'm all for it. I'm looking forward to it. Are we going to see, like, with the de-aging going on, are we going to see old Indiana Jones, current Indiana Jones, current Harrison Ford, goes back in time and he sees young Harrison Ford, and we see an interaction of the two of them? I'd be down for that. I think it'd be cool. I'd be looking forward to seeing that. Or maybe even this. Maybe we see him interacting with his younger self, or looking upon his younger self in the original movies. Like, we see scenes from like Temple of Doom or Raiders of the Lost Ark. We see them scenes. And current Indy in 1969 in Indy is just like watching upon these sort of moments or something like that. Maybe we see stuff like that going on in the movie. I'd be really like excited to see stuff like that. I think it'd be interesting to see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. For me, Indiana Jones, I've probably said it before, I wasn't like a huge fan growing up with these movies. These are movies I've watched more in maybe like, I'd say like late teens, early 20s or whatever, and really got into them then. And I really think they're great films now. Even the last one, I mean, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I like that movie. I'm a big fan of that movie. Last Crusade is my favourite by far, but I'm looking forward to seeing Indiana Jones in another adventure, and just to see what they do on the big screen with it, with this new story. I mean, it took long enough. 2008 was the last time we saw Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, and you've got to think it's going to be probably the last hurrah on this one. I mean, if it's another 10, 20 years, he's going to be like, feel like he's probably, I mean, too old to be doing the role anymore. I mean, God forbid, he might not even be around it in another 10, 20 years. So It feels like it's going to be a last hurrah for the character, and I just hope they do sign it off with a really good ending, a really good adventure, and just really give us an Indiana Jones movie that we can all enjoy as fans, because it feels like the last one was a bit divided. Let's give us one now that all of us can appreciate and we all enjoy, and everyone in the fandom of Indiana Jones just really has a great time at the cinema watching this film. So that comes out on June 30th this year. Going to be a cracking one to see. Now, let's move on to the fourth and final movie I'm going to discuss today on best movies coming in 2023. And the fourth movie I'm going to discuss is the Super Mario Brothers movie. That's right, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Coming out on April 7th, this movie. That's the date it's coming out. This is from Illumination Studios, the studio who brought us Despicable Me, the Minions movie. So it's going to be an animated movie again. This one, it's not a live action one, it's an animated movie. And very much, the look of the movie is taken, directly from the games. It looks great, but it looks like it's got that sort of like visual look of the Minions movies. But we've seen a few trailers for this come out now so far. So in this movie, we've got Chris Pratt from Guardians of the Galaxy voicing Mario. Kind of feels like it was a bit... a lot of criticism online at first about him playing that role, because people want that classic voice from the video games where it's like, "Hello, it's me, I'm Mario." But I'll be honest, I think Chris Pratt is great in like the Guardians of the Galaxy. I like him in Parks and Rec. He's funny in that. So I wasn't too bothered. It doesn't have to sound like an Italian plumber to me. Mario, it can be any voice. And in the trailers we've seen so far, he's just doing like his Chris Pratt voice, and I think it works all right for the character. I don't think it like diminishes the character. I mean, it's the same, I suppose, with I don't think it's quite as like iconic, I suppose, with like the Sonic voice from the video games, because they didn't hire the same person to do the voice in a movie. They hired someone else, but I think overall people liked that movie and the voice in the end, and I think it's going to be the same with this. And obviously all the characters in this are recast with like Hollywood actors, but I think it's going to be great. I think the most impressive, probably the one what fans are probably going to enjoy the most, is Jack Black as Bowser. So you got Chris Pratt as Mario, we have Charlie Day as Luigi, Jack Black as Bowser, and Anna Taylor-Joy as Peach. And yeah, there's a lot more characters in there as well, like Donkey Kong and Captain Toad, a few others. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think the trailers have been really exciting to see. I'm a big video game fan. I love Mario. I mean, for me, I'll be honest with you, Mario Odyssey on the Switch has been one of my favourite gaming experiences of all time. I absolutely love that game. I think it's just a superb game. And playing that, and then when you hear about them, I honestly, it's like one of them games I just think back, like, it's just so much fun and so much fun of an experience. And then it brings me back to, growing up as a kid, playing the Mario games on the SNES, the SNES. It's a lot of nostalgia there, and a lot of, I really enjoy that franchise of Mario. And the fact they're doing this live action movie, well, not a live action, an animated movie now of this universe, the Mushroom Kingdom, it's going to be just exciting to see. And the trailers have been really fun. Basically, the premise of the story, from what we've seen so far, is Mario and Luigi, who are plumbers in the real world, in this like real animated world, get sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom to save all the other universes from Bowser's sort of wrath of destruction, basically. And Bowser is just going around all these different universes, these different locations, destroying them all with his big army. Bowser is basically Darth Vader within this story, and Mario is Luke Skywalker. And it's going to be just super fun to see. I think they've really nailed it with the cast. I think from what we've seen in the trailers so far, they've nailed on what the humour is. Don't get me wrong, this is a kids' movie. This is a family-friendly movie, but I like watching like the Minions movies. I'm a big fan of animated movies, Minions, like the Disney stuff, Pixar stuff. I like all that, so I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be great. It's good that, I can't believe it's taken this long for them to do that, but I heard recently, I think it was on the John Campea show this week, that there was rumor of them doing a Zelda animated movie as well. So maybe this is going to be hopefully starting off that sort of like animated universe with Nintendo characters, and then we see that Super Smash Brothers movie eventually further down the line, which I think a lot of fans would love to see. But yeah, again, like if they'd start doing that, and maybe we get like a teaser, like a post-credit scene of like a Zelda or some sort of tease for a wider Nintendo universe of characters. I'd be really pumped to see something like that. But I'm looking forward to this movie. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's one, again, everyone's going to enjoy this one. I think it's going to be an entertaining movie to watch. Let me know your thoughts though. What are some of your favourite movies that are coming out in 2023? And out of these four, which ones are you most excited for? But anyway, that is it for today's headline topic. Let's move on to the next segment of today's show.
Case covers take on other case covers. Can you handle that?
Case cover collision. Case cover collision.
Case cover collision. Each and every week I choose a different movie and look at the different case covers for that movie. And this week on Case Cover Collision, I will be looking at the movie Black Adam, starring The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. And I've got a few different covers. I've got 4 different case covers here. I've got DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, an HMV exclusive as well to look at. And, I'm going to judge them all and find out which one is the winner of this week's Case Cover Collision. So let's get into it anyway. Let's get to, well, first of all, you know what? Let's talk about Black Adam first of all. What was it The Rock said, Dwayne Johnson? He said like the power of the DC comic universe is about to change. Something like that. Some sort of line he kept on like saying over and over again. And then I don't think it turned out to be quite the success The Rock thought it was going to be. I watched it at the cinema, this movie, and I thought it was a decent movie. I'm not going to lie and say I didn't enjoy it, because I did enjoy it. I thought it was fun. It wasn't quite what I'd expected of this project that has been in the works for so long, though. I think maybe I said that at the time, but this was a movie that was in the works for, 10 plus years, and it wasn't like a Dark Knight, was it? It wasn't that sort of groundbreaking movie that maybe we were all kind of like expecting it to be, or maybe we weren't expecting that sort of movie. I certainly was expecting a bit more. It was a middle of the road superhero movie, but it was still fun. It was kind of like on par with like a Venom. That first Venom movie. Wasn't a spectacular movie, but it wasn't awful. It was decent movie to watch. But anyway, let's look at the case covers, ladies and gents. Let's go for it. So first of all, this movie is coming out. I think it's coming out on the. I didn't write down the date. I'm pretty sure it is the 17th, around the 17th or the 19th of January. I think it is the 17th. It's coming out on physical media release. So we've got, first of all, let's look at the DVD case cover for Black Adam first of all. So here we go. The case cover is, it's front and center. We have this anti-hero character of Black Adam, played by The Rock, the Great One, and he's in there. He's got like this, this black suit on with like the, very much the same as the Shazam suit. Rather than it being red, it's black this time, and he's got like the big like lightning bolt in the center as well. I think the suit is really great. I think it looks great. He's pretty much taking up this whole shot of this case cover. You have the Black Adam logo above and behind The Rock here, and then you have all the sort of like the supporting characters within the story. You've got, is it Hawkman? You've got a few of the other ones. Dr. Fate, played by Pierce Brosnan, in the guy who's kind of like, is it the Atom Smasher as well? There's a few other ones in there, and then at the bottom of the screen you see, in this very small picture, Black Adam taking on Hawkman in sort of like this like stylistic look where they're fighting each other, and then you see like a clash of power rising up and like lightning shooting out above. Then you see the colour here, the colours used here, it's very much like a yellowy colour, a yellow sky, sunset colour at the bottom of the screen. It goes into sort of like a dark midnight color, into the sort of title of Black Adam at the top of the, and yeah, I think it's really good, a really strong looking cover. This, I think it helps that the costumes and for all these characters are amazing. I think the Hawkman suit is great. I think Black Adam's suit is really good. So even just seeing them significant characters, you see the look of them. It looks really cool to look at, and I like this. I think the logo is perfectly fine. It's nothing like overly. It doesn't stand out amazingly, but I think it just works for this. It's just fairly standard logo, and then you have the DC logo in small right by Black Adam there. But I like this DVD cover. I think it's a fairly decent cover. There's good use of colours and a good use of the characters of this movie. Now let's move to the Blu-ray cover for Black Adam. Now, the Blu-ray cover is a very different take on this. Very much, I'd say it's the same shot of The Rock, but this time it is a very close-up shot. So you've got it's just his face in the camera here, in the case cover of The Rock, and then it goes to like a black fade underneath. So you don't even see the Black Adam suit here, which is a bit unusual. You just see The Rock, his face, and then you see in the middle to the left the logo for Black Adam in a very different sort of like a colour this time. Whereas the last one, it was like in a dark grey, the colour of the text. It's in a light blue and yellow, so it really stands out a lot more, this one. I think the actual font looks a bit more significant here, to be honest with you. You look at this one, even though the text is smaller as well. It stands out a lot more than that bigger text in the first one. Here, again, you get a look at them, all them sort of side characters, the supporting cast members, the supporting heroes of the Justice Society of America here. All them characters, they're kind of like going on a bit of a curve, a bit of on the right-hand side, going up the face of The Rock. And then you see a bit of like the lightning in the background as well around those supporting characters. But then in the backdrop, you see on the left-hand side, the sky at the back of The Rock. But it's very much like a lot of shadows used here, and like around the Rock's face, you see shadows on the right side of his face. I think is it saying like, is he good or evil? Like, the darkness, is he an evil character, or is he on the side of light? Is he a good character? You're never quite sure. He is an anti-hero character. He's the way he's depicted in this movie. I know in the comic books he's more of a bad guy, a villainous character. But yeah, it's a decent cover. I would have liked to seen the suit though, being honest, in this one. I think seeing the suit again would have been great to see, because I think for me the Black Adam suit is just a crazy, amazing suit to look at. It looks 10 out of 10. I think it looks superb. And you look at The Rock's physique as well. He's just like this mammoth of a guy. Why not show off this guy who just genuinely looks like a superhero in this super cool suit? Show it off in these images. That's what I would have thought would have sold better, and I think it looks more eye-catching to people who are into superhero movies. Personally, that's from me coming as a superhero fan. So for me, I gotta say the DVD case cover is my favourite so far out of these over the Blu-ray. Now let's move on to the third choice today, and this is the Black Adam 4K release here. So this one is Black Adam 4K. Let's look at this. This is right up my street. So here we see now it's kind of like a bit more of a long shot of Black Adam here. You see Black Adam in his throne. He's on his throne at the end of the movie, and we see him just looking down at the camera in this very menacing look. But we see the whole outfit this time. We see this big menacing guy in this superhero outfit in The Rock. It's a very dark cover as well. We've got the black suit here, the black throne, and it's just a black background as if it's like at night, this cover here. But then it's like you have the text behind him, and very much similar to the text in the very first image, like a grey to dark goldy yellow. There's little tints of yellow in the text colour there, and it's in the backdrop of The Rock. But then it kind of feels like it shines a light down onto The Rock's head, and then you got the shine from the actual Shazam lightning bolt on his chest as well, creating a bit more light for his face here, which is really good to see. But I think to me, again, this is what I'm saying. The costume is a really cool costume. Show it off. This shows off this guy here. This shows off what we're going to see. This character, this Black Adam character. and I think it's amazing. I think this is a really good cover, and I got to be honest with you, the 4K is my favourite so far. It's my favourite over the DVD, favourite over the Blu-ray, so the 4K is winning it for me. So now let's move on to the fourth and final case cover for today, and the fourth and final one I want to discuss is the Black Adam HMV exclusive limited edition 4K Ultra HD Steelbook. So this is the HMV exclusive Steelbook for Black Adam from HMV. Let's take a look at it. So, very similar to what they kind of done with the last one. Very much going for just the whole colour scheme here is black. You've got a black background, very small text of the title Black Adam is in the left centre again, and it's not as bright as the one that was left centre on the Blu-ray cover. It's a bit small, it's same size but a bit darker, but you see that gold on the one of the A's really stands out to highlight that thunderbolt, the lightning bolt, sorry. But this time we've got a side shot of the Rock here of the Black Adam character, and he's in the suit again. You see that suit looking really cool, and he's looking side on, and you see, it's very much like the shadows here. You see a bit of light on the other side of his face, but then it's a lot of like a very like dark shadows on this side of his face. That kind of like saying, is this guy a hero or a good guy, or is he a villain? And I think it's a really good shot. This, I think it looks gritty. It looks real. It looks like this is like this real badass villainous superhero, anti-hero coming to life, and I think it looks amazing. The suit is, for me, the suit stands out. It's a standout suit. I think it's great. But yeah, I think it looks really good. A really very minimalist cover. This one definitely very minimalist, but I like these covers. I think they, sometimes less is more on these case covers, and it really can stand out a lot more. But which one is the winner of case cover collision this week? I've got to give it to the 4K, the standard 4K, not the HMV exclusive. The standard 4K is the winner. Black Adam on his throne, looking menacing, looking like a powerhouse. I think it looks incredible. The suit is highlighted here. The Rock's, huge physique. He looks like a superhero. He looks amazing. He looks, someone I wouldn't want to mess with. And I think it's a really good cover, and I think it really is sort of like depicts what this movie kind of is for me, and I like it. I really like this cover. I think it's a great cover. So the 4K standard is the winner of this week's edition of Case Cover Collision. Let's move on with the next segment of today's show.
The Amazon Top 10 is approaching. Prepare yourself. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Amazon Top 10 has arrived.
The Amazon Top 10. Each and every week, I give you the Amazon Top 10 for bestsellers list for DVD, 4K, and Blu-rays on Amazon.co.uk. Let's take a look at the bestsellers list of physical media's releases this week. Let's see. So we got, first of all, at number 10, we have the Elvis movie on 4K. The Elvis movie was at number 1 for quite some time. I think it was the DVD release though. But that is a really good movie. I really enjoyed Elvis. Elvis 4K is at number 10. At number 9, we have Marvel Studios' Black Panther on Blu-ray. The 4K of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Still a movie I've not watched yet, so that's a movie I'm going to be checking out very soon. That's at number 9. At number 8, we have Top Gun Maverick on Blu-ray. At number 7, we have House of the Dragon Season 1 on DVD. I've still not watched the whole season yet, so that's, again, another one I'm definitely going to be watching soon. It's on my to-watch list. Number 6, we have Black Panther: Wakanda Forever on DVD at number 6. Number 5, we have Black Adam on Blu-ray. We discussed on Case Cover Collision today, Black Adam. Number 4, we have The Banshees of Inisherin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably butchering it, but I know it's a movie. I think it was a Disney Plus release, I'm pretty sure, as well. I've not watched this one. It's got Colin Farrell in it. It's meant to be really good. One I've got to check out. That's at number 4. And number 3, we have Black Panther Wakanda Forever on Blu-ray. And number 2, we have Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. I've never heard of that movie before. And at number 1, still, I didn't see it. Number 1, still Elvis on DVD. It's still there. It's been like a month since we've done the podcast, and it's still number 1. Well deserving. I think it was even out of the Downton Abbey one. Cracking movie, Elvis, though. Well worth checking out. That is the Amazon top 10 for this week, ladies and gents. Let's move on to the final segment of today's show.
Ooh, what's been on the screen? What's been on the screen?
What's been on the screen? Each and every week I discuss what I've been watching over the past week, and this week I've been watching a few different things, but I want to start off with this. Renfield, the new Nicolas Cage movie starring Nicholas Hoult as well. Renfield, Nicolas Cage is playing Dracula, and Nicholas Hoult is playing his assistant. It's like a modern... it's set in modern day. It looks like a comedy horror, kind of like a Shaun of the Dead sort of type movie. I watched the trailer for this today. I thought it looked really funny. Basically, he's trying to break off from Dracula, from being his assistant, and then you got Dracula just not having any of that, and then we just see like this comedy horror. It looks really good. I saw a few pictures of Nicolas Cage as Dracula, and I thought, wow, this looks amazing. I didn't realise it was a comedy horror, and then watched the trailer and I thought, yeah, this looks really good. That comes out on April 14th. I'm really looking forward to that. It's also got the female actress who was in the Shang-Chi movie as well. She played, was it Katie or Katie in that movie? She's in this as well, another familiar face. And yeah, looking forward to seeing that. I think it's going to be a fun film. What else have I been watching this week? Glass Onion, the second Knives Out movie. Finally got around to watching it. I really enjoyed the first one. I thought it was a really good murder mystery, whodunit story. Ryan Johnson returned to direct the movie and write the movie as well. Daniel Craig returns as Benoit Blanc, the detective in this story. Kind of getting a lot of like Pink Panther vibes with his character as well. He kind of feels more like a comedy character in this movie more so than the first movie for me. But he's, I won't go too heavy into spoilers, but I suppose, yeah, let's go heavy into spoilers. Let's go. Spoilers ahead for Glass Onion, Knives Out 2. If you've not watched it, spoilers ahead, ladies and gents. But he's doing this like murder mystery on this island of this like rich billionaire played by Edward Norton, and then it turns out there is actually a murder on the island, and then there was a murder before they got to the island, and then we see Janelle Monáe's character who plays the sister of a character who was killed off the island by these bunch of millionaires who were sort of like founding members in this big company. And then Benoit Blanc is kind of like caught in the middle of all this, and he's trying to find out who killed Janelle Monáe's character before they got to the island. But he's pretending that he doesn't know that she's dead. So basically, she has a twin sister called Helen, Janelle Monáe. She was a singer, Janelle Monáe, as well. She's a really, really cool singer. I remember seeing her at Glastonbury a few years ago, like on TV. Not that I went Glastonbury. I wouldn't survive that. But she plays the sister of this character who was killed earlier on in the story, and then she gets to this island pretending she's the twin sister that has been killed, and basically it's him trying to find out and her teaming up and trying to find out who killed her sister, her twin sister. And it's a decent movie. I don't think it was half as good as the first one. I felt like it was a bit too, like, I don't know. I felt like there was a bit too much comedy at times as well. And I'll be honest, I like the bits like where he was putting stuff in with like the pandemic and the lockdowns and stuff like that. I don't know why they did that. It kind of like felt like a bit unnecessary. I felt like they could have just avoided discussing like the pandemic and stuff in the story. I don't know why they decided to do that. A bit of an odd creative choice, I thought myself personally. But it was a decent watch. I felt it was a bit too long. It was over 2 hours. I think for that movie, it could have been under 2 hours. That would have been perfect for me. But I think there'll be more of these movies. I think they're decent to watch. I'm not like a big fan of whodunit movies or like whodunit TV shows, but well worth checking out anyway. Yeah, Glass Onion. If you like the first one, give it a watch. I think you'll enjoy it. But anyway, that is it for today's show. If you enjoyed today's show, please do give it a like and check out the rest of the movie related on the channel if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're listening to this on a podcast app of your choice, please do subscribe to the podcast app and leave a comment, leave a 5-star review, and all reviews will get read out. But do send me the review as well so I can see it. Sometimes they go a bit amiss, and I will read all reviews out on the show as well. So let me know your thoughts anyway. But what are your thoughts? What are the best movies coming out in 2023 for you, ladies and gents? What are some of your favourite movies you're looking forward to seeing this year? It's great to be back, ladies and gents, as well. Thank you again for all the kindness, and it's just good to be back in the community discussing movies, as always. But yeah, that's it for a show. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer, and as always, I will see you next time.